real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it. So let's talk about the bill. Let's talk about Louisiana for first, and then we'll move into everything else, and we'll just have fun with it because it's gonna be fun. And I've had a ton of people on Twitter yelling at me over this shit because I tweeted about it. Yeah, because people are always very, very shocked that a lot of my views are kind of conservative. A lot of them are libertarian, and a baby handful are like left. And usually stuff that has to do with workers' rights. Yeah. And pro-choice, because I don't give a fuck. A lot of my views are based in the fact that I'm not trying to pretend to be better or moral than anyone else.
Well, right.
I like, oh, it's a laugh. I don't really care. I just don't. It's kind of like when people are like, you know, don't you care about the atrocities in Israel? And I'm like, no. Like, I just don't. I don't care. Like, and it's, to be fair, based on biology, you can't legitimately care for people that are not actually within your scope. It's not actually possible. So when you see people overtly caring for like babies in Africa, they're saying it to get social points from their friends.
Well, right. That's unfortunately how a lot of people are. Out of a group of 100 people, maybe 5 genuinely care, and the rest who are saying they care don't actually care.
And those 5 people, Vera, have diagnosable mental conditions, and that's why they care.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about for everything. There are genuinely good people out there. Just few.
Wait, hold on. No, that doesn't mean
just
you're
few.
Bad. I don't think people that only care about them and theirs are bad.
Well, I'm not saying they're necessarily bad either, but they pretend to care.
Are you going to go to Africa and feed babies right now?
Well, no.
I doubt it. You know,
I didn't say I was, though.
And if I did, you better film it. Right?
Well, yeah, because I have revenue.
I'm getting the fucking clout. Look at me feed this little baby. His name
That's
is
how
Igwe.
a lot of people are.
His name is Igwe.
No shame in it.
I'm feeding him chicken nuggets. Unfortunately, he died from refeeding condition because I fed him too many chicken nuggets.
Why chicken nuggets out of everything?
Bro, imagine being a baby in, I don't know, what's an African country? Rwanda? No, that's a lady. Yolanda. Wait. What's an African country? Somebody. Haiti? No, that's not African. Is it African? Man,
I'm not saying anything. I want to see how long this takes.
I've been driving a long time today.
I'm not interrupting this.
I mean, London basically is now. Oh yeah, Rwanda. So Rwanda, Ghana. Thank you. Zambia. So let's say you go to Rwanda. You give a baby a chicken nugget. Imagine you are a kid and you live in Rwanda, and some lady comes up to you and says, "Here's some chicken nuggets," and just puts a chicken nugget in your little black hat. God, you'd be like,
"Well, I'm not saying chicken nuggets are bad. I'm just saying, why out of everything, chicken nuggets?
Thing I have ever tasted." Immediately, like, I will marry you, white lady, for sure. Bring me some more of them bitches. Oh my God, could you imagine? Damn. Anyways, aside from being racist, let's talk about the Ten Commandments. So, like I said, a lot of my positions that I have are based in not overtly having to prove to people that I'm morally just, and not having to prove to myself I'm morally just. I care about the people in my life and the people that are close to me and my family. That's it. Like, and of course, there's, you know, I'm being, you know, pretty direct, but you know, there's a lot of people I care about in my community. Like, I talk to every single day. I talk to Billy Hatcher every day. I talk to Art Clown every day. I care about these people, of course. I have genuine conversations with these people. They've touched my life in some way, shape, or form. So that falls under that same umbrella. But somebody I've never met, never will meet, never see their face, never know they existed. Never, like, I can't possibly care about a person like that. So my morality is kind of based in that. And that's why when it comes to issues like these, people are so confused why I'm not on the religious side. And I'm like, well, I'm not religious. I'm just not.
Well, right. You can't ask somebody to, you know, change their opinions when they're, you know, not religious. can't expect somebody to defend religion if they're not religious. And
Right.
that's how a lot of people are, is they expect you, to just blindly defend what they believe in, which, like, I completely understand that somebody might feel passionate enough to say, oh, well, this is why you should care. And you could totally try to, tell somebody why it's important to talk about something or feel a certain way about something. But at the end of the day, you don't have to feel that way.
Yeah. And it's really frustrating to have the conversation with people because I will have this conversation and people will speak from a religious moral standpoint. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't speak in this conversation from a religious standpoint. I'm not religious.
Right.
Therefore, what you're saying doesn't work because I'm
Well,
not religious. I don't believe in the same thing. Therefore, what you're saying has no bearing on anything. I can speak to why it may be good or why it may be bad, but if you are speaking to it being good because of God, then I can't have this conversation anymore because I don't. It's kind of like how people will be like, "Are you religious?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Oh, so you're not afraid of burning in hell?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, no, because I'm not really. Yeah, see, I'm not afraid of that because I don't
right.
believe it's a thing." You know,
Right.
they're like, oh, "Well, I just can't believe you're not worried about that or not. You're not afraid of going there." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm not afraid of going. I'm not afraid of going to Mars, right?
Right. Well,
Because
it's
I'm not going
like,
to go to Mars."
well, yeah, exactly. And there's difference between trying to simply have a conversation with someone about
Yeah,
it and then force the way that you feel or the things that you believe onto them, which unfortunately is a major, major issue in public school systems right now,
yeah,
which, we're seeing just with this article that, you have up on the screen.
yeah. It's just people believe that, well, what we teach is better, and I'm like, oh no. So it says right here, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a bill is advancing in the legislature to require. And keep in mind, it's to require. It's not if you
Right.
want to. It's
Well, right. And
to.
that's another major issue
Yeah,
is it's okay in a lot of cases with a lot of different things if it is, an optional thing that parents can choose or you can choose if we're talking about like university level stuff. But when things become required, that's instantly where you start losing people's support in mass.
yeah. It says require all public schools to display the Ten Commandments in classrooms. Some believe it teaches good morals, while others say it violates the Constitution, which it does. And it may teach good morals, it may not, but the morals you're teaching are subjective.
Right.
Like the Ten Commandments is based in a religion that not everybody believes in.
Right.
Less and less people believe in it every day. It says HB 71 requires a poster-sized display, 11 by 14 inches of the Ten Commandments in all public classrooms. The posters would be funded by private donations, and teachers wouldn't be required to teach about them. Some took issue with the need for separation of church and state. Barbara Freeberg says, I have concerns about requiring this in public schools where we wish to embrace students of all cultures, all religious backgrounds, and all religious faiths. This what you're saying is a mandate. It's not if you would like to post them.
Well, right.
Post them.
No. And another major issue is that they're saying, oh, well, right now it's only a poster sized display in all the classrooms, but then there could be something else that they say, well, we were able to successfully do this one thing, so why not continue to push it with another thing and another thing? And then it all gets blown out of hand and out of proportion.
Yeah. When I went to school in Hoax Bluff, Alabama. I went to school in Podunk, Jesus area, and they did not mention or whisper about religion in my school. And it was like the most fucking podunk southern place in the world.
I went to school in my living room, so I'm very lucky for that. I'm very grateful for that experience.
That makes so much more sense. The Supreme Court has ruled in the past against posting the Ten Commandments in schools. In the case of Stone v. Graham in 1980, the court said it had no secular legislative purpose and was plainly religious in nature. Says claims multiple religions follow the Ten Commandments and believes it's a historical document on which all laws are based. No, I disagree. Multiple religions follow. I beg to differ that this is just Christian, but I have no qualms if it was. This is not preaching a Christian religion. It's not preaching any religion. It's teaching moral code. See, this is this is exactly. It passed 10-2, by the way. This is exactly what people are saying on Twitter.
Right.
This is 100% what people are telling me on Twitter and yelling at me over. They're
Yeah,
like,
but their morals might not be your morals and vice versa.
right. So they're like, oh, well, it teaches good morals. And I'm like, okay, teach those morals anyway. And why does it have to be a religious text and religious document?
Well, right. And it's like DEI in schools, a DEI and of course, as you said, LGBT, it's all a cult at this point. And it's like they say, well, this is to, make kids feel more comfortable with themselves and, be able to accept themselves and not feel so worried about it. But at the end of the day, there are people who don't want that. There are people who don't want this. I mean, ultimately, you're supposed to be educating kids, and that's all that it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing is that's exactly my point is people that are for pushing LGBTQ teachings in the curriculum are doing so. Now, a lot of them are doing it because they are part of the LGBTQ and they just want to everyone to be indoctrinated in it, which there's a lot of people on the right with religion that do the same thing. So sure. Well, you can choose which one is more damaging. Sure. I'm sure one it's more than the other, but the thing is, people that push LGBTQ stuff on curriculums, those people believe they're doing a good thing.
Right. They do, most certainly.
Right. A lot of them do. And people that are pushing the Ten Commandments also believe they're doing a good thing. And the issue is if you believe in censorship or enforcement based on your personal morality, then you are just as bad as the people you screech about that have pink hair and are teaching kids about gay shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're using the exact same thought process to do that. The exact same thought process to do that.
It's
and
like
they don't see it. And when I tell people this, Vera, I will tell people, I'm like, you're using the exact same thought process to come up to your conclusion that they do. And they're like, yeah, but the Ten Commandments are good. And I'm like, oh my God. No,
we're not saying they're bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, they're fine. They
Right.
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not finish insider. Like those are good fucking rules to live by. But I don't know. It's just so silly to me. It's like, can you not see what you're doing? Can you not see how this is hypocritical? And people their perspective is so locked in that they can't even fathom what I'm saying. I'm like, this is the same thing though, and they're like, no, but the Ten Commandments are good. And I'm like, no, that doesn't matter. You're using the same thought process. You're using your personal morality and pushing it on others. It's like, yeah, but it's good morality. And I'm like, fuck! Are you? Huh? I can't keep repeating the same thing. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me.
Unfortunately, with just a lot of people in general, is that they feel that what they say or the things they believe in is kind of the ultimate form, right? It's the ultimate level of morality. And you are totally allowed to feel that way about whatever you believe in or, whatever cause you're supporting. You're totally allowed to feel that way. But when we're talking about schools and young kids, it becomes a very different conversation.
Yeah, sure. 100%. Aaron Clark says, my parents are religious, but respect my choice.
Yeah,
good.
That's great.
My mom is religious and has never, ever, ever even kind of made me do anything religious wise. She was always like, if you want to go to church, you can go to church. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And I did. Like when I was a kid, I went to church and I'd play in the little church basketball league. I did all this, I did all the stuff. But once I think I was 12 or 13, I was like, yeah, this is silly. And I just never did it again. But my mom,
she didn't push it on you, which I think is really great. And allowing, a child and a teenager, an adult, whatever age to, learn things for themselves and wanting to have a genuine interest than it being pushed onto you. And then you end up loathing it for the rest of your life. That's definitely a healthier way to approach it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Aaron also says with another $2 super chat says, you don't need religion to teach right and wrong. I agree. Now, I will concede the fact that Western society is loosely built around a Christian society. Like it's just the vast majority of people in the West were Christian for a long time. So that you can't really avoid that. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to live in any other society. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to choose a religious founding of a society, I would probably always choose Christian.
Yeah,
I wouldn't choose Islam. No, thank you.
Right.
Well, I am a guy, so it would be all right. I get to have like 9 wives, and I get to stone her if she says.
You're gonna have to cut that from the stream later. You're gonna have to cut out that portion.
Look, okay. If she's like, oh, she went and hung out with fucking the Muhammad, the other Muhammad, because I'm Muhammad, but they also have another Muhammad. Like, he lives next door, and she goes and hangs out with. I can kill her ass in the street, and people will help.
Man, why'd you have to bring that into it? Why'd you have to bring the murder into it?
Murder. I mean, it's kind of a cool rule.